Welcome to Studio 5. We have a special show for you this week. We're taking you inside the making of Family Camp with its stars, the Skit guys, Leigh, Allyn Baker, and Gigi Arsillo. But first, let's fire up this week's countdown of the top 5 headlines in the world of uplifting entertainment. Here are the first 2. At number 5.
Do you hoop?
Hoop? Basketball. Show up, play?
A biographical basketball drama. The real-life story of the Antetokounmpo brothers.
If we're good, we can help mom and dad. When one person in the family scores, the whole family scores.
Rise remembers the 3 young Nigerian Greek brothers who endure impossible odds, emigrate to the United States, and rise to fame in the NBA.
You're illegal immigrants. We can get you all sent back home.
This is our home.
The film premieres on Disney Plus June 24th.
They can knock us down, but they can't stop us from getting back up.
At number 4.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song.
That's modern hymn writers Keith and Kristyn Getty preparing to perform in Singapore for as many as 5,000 people at the Star Theater next Saturday, May 28th. Singapore has just lifted most COVID restrictions that have been in place since the pandemic started.
Till on that cross as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied.
That's a great start to the countdown in this special edition of Studio 5. All show long, we're taking you behind the scenes of the new fun family film, Family Camp. It stars Tommy Woodard and Eddie James, who've been best friends since high school, but perhaps you know them best as the Skit guys.
We started off by performing skits for our youth group, then other churches. Eventually, we had the opportunity to perform for audiences around the world.
When did you recognize the power of what you do?
That's a great question.
We've also had the privilege for over 20 years to make short films for churches. Maybe you've seen us at your church.
I remember we did something for a bunch of youth, like 1,000 youth students. And it really was that thing. Like, we did our thing and we walked off and students started standing up and giving us a standing ovation. I remember that going, oh, maybe what we're saying is speaking to them, to that generation.
At that point you went, well, it was just a skit, but you realized God took it and did something with it, you know?
We've gone from the small screens at your church to the big screen beginning May 13th with a movie called Family Camp.
How do we go from skits to a feature film?
Only God. You can see how short-sighted we were to call ourselves skit guys, to go, well, we'll just always do skits, you know? But God had a bigger plan in mind. It was the greatest dream we always wanted.
Very humbling, very okay. You know, Luke 12:48, to much is given, much is expected. You know, you feel that weight. Or what Spider-Man's uncle said, with great power comes great responsibility.
I should have known better than to trust you. You have no idea where we are.
Get that thing away from me!
Tell me about your respective characters in the film.
My character is Tommy Ackerman. He would be, I think, your average church dude. I mean, goes to church occasionally when he's not playing golf, you know, and he gets conned by his wife into going to this family camp that he doesn't want to go to.
You ask our family, it's the greatest place on earth.
I'm sorry, I was late.
Again.
What do I gotta do to make it up to you?
How about we go to that camp?
My character is that guy at church that is the first guy to go, hey, where's the gang going for lunch? And you're like, oh, he's not part of our gang. You know what?
Stop! Not another word.
Oh!
How close are each of you to your character?
I don't get invited to lunch a lot.
What a realization.
Oh my goodness.
Here's my card. Intergalactic chiropractic.
Buckle up, everybody.
My character is so busy. He's busier than God intended him to be. And so while he may have some good intentions, he's missing out on a lot. And I think all of us can relate to being too busy.
See, life can pull you in many different directions if you let it. But real talk, it's pretty easy to get lost if you don't have a guide.
Family camp is a great roller coaster. You get to get in the roller coaster, and there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be humor. There's going to be heart. There's going to be things that tug at your heartstrings. Maybe tear up a little bit. Where like, are you crying? No, I'm not crying. You know, and it's going to point you to God. Laughter breaks down walls for truth to enter.
Yeah.
So if you can get someone to laugh, they'll listen to you, but you have to have something good to say. And so we try to point them to the creator of the universe.
That was fun.
That was something.
You're welcome.
Family Camp is in theaters right now, and we have more coming from the cast up next.
Still ahead.
What do I gotta do to make it up to you?
How about we go to that camp?
A familiar face from Disney Channel's popular sitcom, Good Luck Charlie.
We can all find more common ground, and to sit and laugh at ourselves is that common ground.
Allyn Baker joins us in Studio 5. At number 3.
The best-selling album of all time turns 40 this year, and fans are getting some thrilling releases in honor of the anniversary. To celebrate 4 decades of Michael Jackson's Thriller, later this year we'll get a bonus version with unreleased tracks, new vinyl, and a limited edition audiophile version. Thriller topped the Billboard 200 chart for 37 weeks.
At number 2. Oh, I'm free from the fear of tomorrow. Christian artists, the Ball Brothers, are back from Ukraine, where they hand-delivered food to a church. We'll move to heaven's peaceful shore. Sang at its Orthodox Easter celebration. Brother, let me tell you how I feel. Tell you about a feeling that is real. Brother, let me tell you how the glory flows. And even had an opportunity to encourage Ukrainian troops.
They wanted to say thank you to everyone that helped give towards this trip. They're very appreciative and very thankful for the help that they've received from the United States of America.
That leaves us with only one more story in this week's countdown to share. We'll get it to you in just a little bit. Right now, we have more from the stars of Family Camp. Next up is Allyn Baker. She's had recurring roles on Charmed and Will and Grace, and she starred as Amy Duncan on Disney Channel's popular sitcom, Good Luck Charlie.
Hello, Yerk family. Oh, I'm Grace.
So in Family Camp, you are who?
I play Grace Ackerman, and I'm the mom that kind of gets this ball rolling to get my entire family to go to Family Camp.
Welcome to camp.
For the Ackermans?
Don't seem to have an Ackerman here on the list.
You made the final payment online, right?
What did you like about being Grace?
I usually play pretty extreme characters. I usually go for very funny characters. And she kind of like walked this line of wanting this life for her family and this Christian path, but then like having her family be in, you know, the real world. Like we all walk that line. I guess what I'm saying is she's probably the most normal, down-to-earth character I've ever played, which is one of the things I was really drawn to about her, yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Why is comedy important in Christian film?
I think that comedy just has a way of lightening the load in life. I mean, we live in this fallen world and things are really heavy, and in particular right now, they are really heavy. And so to be able to laugh, I mean, that's one of the joys that God gave us, is laughter. So why not embrace it?
If you think we're gonna be friends with that guy, you need your head examined.
Part of my faith story, I think coming back to Christ and building a closer relationship with him was this movie.
We have a problem.
Our husbands are out there on their own, and we don't even know where they are.
I'm stuck here with Dr. Phil's demented twin brother when I should be back at the camp singing Kumbaya with my family.
It's okay, mi amigo. When God closes a door, he opens a Chick-fil-A.
Our theaters are filled with a lot of trash, and it's filled that way because that's what people are paying to go see. But boy, if they could go and enjoy themselves and have a great time at a faith-based movie, and we could fill the theater with more Christ, how amazing would that be?
As this is released to the world, do you have a hope, a prayer, or desire for the project?
Yeah, I do have a hope and a prayer. My hope is that comedy in Christian films will bring more people to the table. You know, comedy does really break down barriers, and I think that that will get more people to not be intimidated and to happily walk up to this table and have a seat and join, you know, fellow Christians and sing what Christ is about. And my big hope for the movie is that it does so well we get a sequel, because I want to make another movie with these guys.
Leigh Allyn is a mom in real life, and she is homeschooling her children in the Nashville, Tennessee area, which she now calls home, having moved away from the bright lights of Hollywood. Before we go to break, we've got a special story and pictures this week. Here's a look at the sights and sounds from the red carpet of Family Camp's premiere opening night in Franklin, Tennessee, just outside Nashville.
It's a fun night here at the Factory in Franklin, Tennessee, where the stars walk the red carpet for the premiere of the fun family film, Family Camp. These are the faces and the hearts behind the K-Love produced comedy and the first feature film for the Skit guys, Tommy Woodard and Eddie James. It's a laugh-out-loud comedy sure to touch and tickle the funny bone of viewers from age 8 to 80. The film is in theaters right now, and this red carpet look is this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Just moments away.
Lean on me.
When I read the script, I thought, there's nothing like this in the faith-based world. It's something so new and so fresh and so funny.
Gigi Arsillo shares her take on this fun family film.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We are continuing our all-access look at the latest production from K-Love Films. It is called Family Camp. And another star is joining us. Gigi Arsillo, who was bitten by the acting bug very early. Her first appearance came at just 2.5 years old. Well, she is all grown up and a real-life mom now herself.
Now where's my yummy bride?
Oh, honey. My name is Gigi Arsillo, and I play Victoria Sanders in Family Camp. Oh! Victoria is this woman who wants her family to be perfect, wants to do all the right things for all the right reasons, but she's struggling. And I think a lot of women today have that same feeling, where it just feels like we're supposed to have this perfect life. We're supposed to have this Instagram ready, you know, perfect cookie cutter family. And that's not reality.
I thought my family would just magically become the family that I've always wanted them to be.
Things get a little more complicated when you get a peek behind the curtain.
How close to Gigi is Victoria?
Right. Well, sometimes on set they go, I feel like that's Gigi.
That was fun.
That was something.
You're welcome.
Tell me about the dynamics of these two families.
Well, you have the Ackermans who are struggling in their own family to have connection, I think, is their main issue. A husband who loves to golf and thinks that he's doing the right thing because he's providing for his family and he's off, you know, making the buck. And then you have this other family, the Sanders, who want to pretend that it's all about connection and we're this connected family and we're, you know, in a band together and them coming together is really, really fun, first of all, but also I think that they teach each other really sweet lessons.
What lessons does a comedy teach people?
Oh, I think laughing at ourselves is amazing and fun, and I think, like the Skit guys like to say, comedy breaks down barriers for truth to enter, and I love that. I love that because when you get people laughing, you get them to kind of relax, and then their hearts are open to that truth bomb.
What's your hope for the film as the world gets to see it?
I think my hope for the film is that it makes Jesus famous. Studios would see, hey, America wants more movies like this, and we're gonna give it to them, because then it's just another opportunity to make Jesus famous.
Personally, what's your faith done for you?
Oh, you want to get me to start crying here. I have been a believer since I was a little girl. I mean, I grew up in the faith, which I feel so thankful and so blessed to have had that foundation of faith in my life. And to be able to walk with the Holy Spirit through all of the ups and all of the downs and all of the pretty and all of the ugly, because we do all have pretty and ugly in our life. And I think, I don't know how people do it without Jesus. I don't know how people do it without faith. And I'm just so thankful. And this is just another opportunity where God has been so sweet and so kind to me.
You can't help but to love Gigi's energy and heart. Be sure to check her out in the family comedy, Family Camp. It is in theaters right now. We have made it to the final story in this week's uplifting entertainment countdown. Here is what's finishing on top this week.
At number 1, it's 2 new projects from filmmaker, author, and preacher.
I'm DeVon Franklin. My dad died when I was just 9 years old. My life could have turned out very differently, but I got blessed with a village of hope. These are all the strong, powerful, outspoken women of faith who have helped me become the man that I am today. I want you to hear our story.
The story of Franklin, his mom, and great aunts is heard in a new audiobook.
The emotional tissue in It Takes a Woman is found in the sharing of the voices of the women who have helped me to navigate the greatest trials in my life, tap into my own inner resilience, and have helped to make me the man that I am today. And I don't want their voices to get lost in the sands of time.
What did you learn doing this that you didn't know about the women in your village?
The thing that I learned is that they were still harboring a lot of pain, a lot of resentment, a lot of guilt, over their past and past decisions, and being able to talk through those decisions and talk through some of their mistakes vis-a-vis this audiobook was very healing for them and very cathartic for them.
Franklin's other project?
Mom, if we don't expand gospel, we'll end up irrelevant. I'm in charge of A&R. I scout talent.
You're in charge because I put you in charge.
Is Kingdom Business, produced alongside Holly Carter and Kirk Franklin.
It's a high-stakes drama set in the world of the gospel music industry. Yolanda Adams, the legendary Yolanda Adams, gospel extraordinaire, she stars in this series, along with a new rising star. Her name is Soraya. And then we have some established veterans like Michael Beach and Michael Jai White, who really help anchor our cast. And let me tell you, wait till you see this. If you think other dramas are great, you haven't seen Kingdom Business. So I really encourage everyone to stream it starting on May 19th, Thursday night.
Give it up for my wife, the queen of gospel music.
Welcome back to Studio 5. Music fuels this show each week, and this week it is one of my all-time favorites, PJ Morton. He has something new. Take a look and to listen so you can hear why The Better Benediction is what's playing in my ear this week.
It won't always be this rough, oh, 'cause God will keep you with his love. I know he will. Keep your head up, my friend. Yes, Lord. You're gonna make it till the end. Oh, it's gonna get better.
On that musical note, we are nearly out of time for this edition of Studio 5, so let's take just a moment to look ahead and see what's in the works for us come next week.
I draw a few comic book series, Sheltered, Pisces, and Angel Catbird, as well as Firebug.
Johnny Christmas is a #1 New York Times best-selling graphic novelist with a new book. It's called Swim Team.
I think a lot of some of my stories that have taken place in Vancouver, why not Vancouver? I think there are lots of stories that can be told in any city.
And Christmas will join us in Studio 5 for an inside look at the story.
We hope you'll join us for that story and so much more next week. As for this show, we have time for just one more word, the final word. And for that, we're going to turn back to the Skit guys.
35 years ago, I sacrificed my dream of being an actor to be a pastor. And he gave it back. And so I would love to have sat down with that 18-year-old kid and said, you don't sacrifice anything. Everything you give to God is an investment. And in due time, he'll give you the return on it. I wish I could have understood that more, because there's more things in my life I would have given over to him.
There's a line in the movie, God doesn't make junk, and I'm not junk. Probably probably have felt like junk for the majority of my life, you know, growing up. And, you know, and I think acting and being in theater in high school, you know, it's a great way to paint an image of, you know, of what you want to be or who you'd like to perceive to be. And so I think if I could have had that voice in my, you know, ear, just saying, hey, be gentle on yourself, kid. God doesn't make junk.
Tommy Woodard and Eddie James, thank you for that wisdom. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and for this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back. See where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.